Welcome back, it's Seth here. Today, I'd like to discuss 5 signs that indicate that you're wealthier than you actually think. Most people have this desire or this rush that they keep pushing themselves to become wealthier and wealthier. However, on our path to becoming wealthier, they don't even realize how far they've already come. And these are signs that you either miss or you totally ignore as your lifestyle adjusts. But before I talk about these signs, please hit the like button down below, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to help grow our channel. Now that you hit the like button, let's dive in. So the first sign that may indicate that you're actually wealthier than you think is that you have income left over at the end of the month. This is a huge milestone, especially for today. In the past few years, we've really experienced an increased cost of living due to inflationary policies that were put in place. And it almost seemed like it was going to be impossible to come up on top in the end. As time progresses, we're getting more used to the new cost of living. And those that were really disciplined with their budgeting and saving goals have really come up on top and have income left over at the end of the month. And I have to say, the end of the month is my favorite time because that's when I really assess all the expenses that I have for the month and see if I hit my goal or where I need to improve. And to get to the position of having money left over at the end of the month, it is really important that you budget. And if you haven't started, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get started, as budgeting gives you a goal of how much money you can spend and how much money you're able to save each month. And in the end, when you review where your money is really going, this might actually leave you shocked. Something that I think that will surprise you is a survey done by YouGov, where they asked shoppers over 17 international markets about how many of their active subscriptions they haven't used in the past 6 months. And what do they find? They find that more than half the consumers at least have one subscription that they haven't even touched in the past 6 months. So there's a very good chance that you may have 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 subscriptions that you barely even use. And by tracking your expenses, you'll be able to see these subscriptions and cut them out as you don't really need them. Thereby, budgeting and reviewing expenses will help you to have more income at the end of the month. The second sign that indicates that you're wealthier than you actually are is that you don't care to show off your wealth or desire to make things public. In the times that we're living in right now, people use social media as a way to flex their wealth. You'll see individuals showing off their expensive watch collections and other individuals with multiple cars, and it seems like they buy a new car every other month. The truth is, most people do this to show off that they're confident and they're really wealthy. But in fact, there are only a few people that really buy these products who genuinely enjoy them. Most people are just looking to flex how rich they are, and they'll go into debt to buy these expensive watches and cars. Something that is a growing problem now are car loans. An article published by Yahoo Finance found that a new share of car owners are spending $1,000 or more on their monthly payments. According to the automotive website Edmunds, this share has increased to 17.9% in the fourth quarter of 2023, up from 17.5% in quarter 3 of 2023, and up from 15.7% from the last quarter of 2022. This is simply just not healthy. You're paying $1,000 a month, if not more, on a car until it's paid off, for only the car to be worth a fraction of what you actually end up paying for it. Honestly, I get it. I love cars. I would love to own a Lamborghini one day. But the rule of thumb that I always use is if you're going to buy something expensive, except a house, you should always buy it in cash. And I personally use the 5 times spending rule, which is that you don't buy the item unless you have 5 times the amount in savings and investments. So for an example, let's say you want to buy a new Tesla Model Y. I live in the province of Ontario in Canada. This means after I pay my 13% tax on the car, this car would probably run me around $80,000. So if that means if I really want to buy this car and I use the 5 times rule, this would mean that I would need $80,000 times 5 in my savings and investment, which would mean I would need $400,000 in my savings and investments before I go buy this car. So if you don't have $400,000 in your investments and savings, do not buy it. As at the end of the day, cars are a depreciating asset. They are not going to make you money or increase your net worth. Our goal is to have assets that go up in value. And to do this, we want to keep our liabilities at a minimum. So our car would be a liability as it goes down in value, and it's going to cost you in maintenance over time. So right now, it's time to focus on building your assets so you can buy whatever you want in the future. The third sign that indicates that you're wealthier than you think is that you manage debt well. I personally think this is a huge milestone for most individuals, as bad debt has just got way out of hand. You'll see individuals using credit cards to buy anything and everything. And now that we have Apple Pay, it's just gotten so much more convenient to use your credit card. Half the time, it doesn't even feel like you're actually spending money. Just in the third quarter of 2024, The total household debt in the United States was $17.94 trillion, with credit card debt being $1.17 trillion. This is a record high for credit cards, and the highest balance in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has begun tracking it since 1999. Also, a January 8th report from LendingTree found that in the largest US 100 metros, 29.6% of Americans are at least behind on one debt payment between July 1 and September 30th of 2023, and just over 20% of consumers had payment delinquents of 90 days or more. Credit card debts, and earlier we discussed car loans, are a huge issue among the average consumer. However, if you're able to catch up on your credit card debt and your car loans, you'll be ahead by a long shot, as this would take care of most of your bad debt. And if this is something you've completed, give yourself a little pat on the back, because this is not something easy to do and it requires a lot of discipline. And if you're not there yet, do not stress. Prioritize all your bad debt first and slowly watch your net worth skyrocket. The fourth sign that shows that you're wealthier than you actually think is that you can afford luxuries without stressing about them. If you manage your debt well and you have money left over at the end of the month, you may find that you end up splurging on yourself a little bit. This could be that you're going out to eat a bit more, or eating at nicer places, or taking a bit more lavish vacations. But doing these activities don't stress you as much as they used to, and you seem to just get by just fine. You still hit your goals of your savings and investment every single month. And this is where I would say all your hard discipline that you put in with budgeting and investing is starting to slowly pay off. As you're now able to enjoy life a bit more, you may be motivated to work even harder to become financially free sooner. Or you might want to slow down a little bit and enjoy a life a bit more on your way there. This is a huge step, because this is where your stress of money really starts to decrease. And if you're watching this video and you're not there yet, that's okay, because you can get there too. Like I said earlier in the video, if you budget, watch your expenses, manage your debt well, and are consistently investing, I don't see why you cannot get to this position as well. The fifth and last sign that indicates that you're actually wealthier than you think is that you've let your investments grow passively. For most people, investing usually starts very early in their financial journey. If you're saving and investing consistently, your net worth should start to grow over time. When it comes time to be financially free, your investments actually end up doing all the heavy lifting. So in the end, that you can actually retire and pursue your passions. Sometimes it may feel like your investments are not growing fast enough. And to be honest, I feel the same way a lot of times. But it's all about consistent growth. And you should always look at your investments in a long-term perspective and not a short run. We are not really focused on that 2 to 3 or 4 times instant growth of your net worth. We're looking for long-term gradual growth. If you look at your investments and you look at it from when you started till now, and you see a positive gradual increase over time, you're doing just fine. Just take a minute and breathe. You're already on track of creating generational wealth. In the end, if you're focused on budgeting, saving, and investing consistently, you will get to where you want to be. And it's important that we enjoy our journey on our way to becoming financially free. That's it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoy this video and you take something away from this. Please stay tuned for future videos. And until next time, remember to keep investing.